Hi and welcome or welcome back. Today is going to be a very chaotic video probably because I have absolutely nothing planned on what I'm going to be talking about. At least, obviously I do. I'm going to be talking about what it was like for me to grow up neurodivergent, to grow up with an above average IQ in a world where, well, when you have an above average IQ, it's like, you will be fine. You're smart enough to get through this without any help. Ooh. I will not be calling it being gifted because I don't like the name of it. In Dutch, we don't speak of it as that. We speak of it as, having a higher IQ, and it's not necessarily always a gift. We're just gonna chat about that. So, for reference, I grew up in Flanders, the Dutch-speaking part of Belgium. So when I'm talking about the school system, that's the school system I'm talking about. I will not be naming names because that's not why I'm here. I'm here to talk about little quirks, but also harder parts, harder things that I had to go through because of the fact that being neurodiverse is not, being neurospicy, let's call it that, isn't really an accepted thing or a thing where people actually know shit about it. So let's just chat about it. I don't know where to start actually. Let's just start at the beginning. Kindergarten. That's fine. Kindergarten, elementary, I don't fucking know how to call it. Anyway, so I was pretty like a normal kid. Obviously there were some signs like being very sensitive to input, to I don't remember the name. Anyway, being a pretty sensitive kid, getting overstimulated a lot faster than most kids did, stuff like that, and obviously like being a little faster sometimes, and always from really young age really caring about rule following, a little bit of perfectionism, a little bit of a fear of failure, so those things are always there. When I got to the part where you're like actually sitting at school and learning for 8 hours straight, at the beginning I was fine, like learning to write and read and all those things, and sure I was helping kids who were already like who were redoing the same year, so I had already learned those things but had to like do it again. But yeah, no. So those things, and like I was fine. Was I exhausted all the time? Yes. Was school the most exhausting thing ever? Yes, it was. Did I feel like I was always learning things? No. And I was fine until some point. Until the point that I was in our like 3rd grade. Let's say I was 8, 9-ish, I think. 7, 8, 9, somewhere there. Let's say I'm 8. So let's just say I was 8 years old. I got bullied at school. Woohoo! The thing was, it was kind of just a class bully. She was basically bullying everyone. But that really hit for me. And there's this thing that people say about bullying: when you like crease a paper, like crumble it up, you can always, you can stretch it out again, but it will never be fully flat. That's kind of what bullying does to you. And I feel that. There are still days when it affects me. I have my triggers that are there probably because of the bullying. I've been in therapy since like I was 9. I'm still in therapy. It's been almost 10 years, okay? That's kind of crazy. Yeah. And then something pretty traumatic happened to a kid in my class. His sister died due to an accident at home, and I was there. It's not like we were friends, but I was immediately like, Mom, he can always come here. It was in a not so great family situation. I had a safe place. I had a safe house where he could come to talk, to help him with schoolwork, stuff like that. Yeah, is it normal? No, it's not, but it happened. Then we reached the point where I was really struggling with school. I was tired consistently. It was becoming, there was physical symptoms coming, headaches, migraines, stomach aches, all the jazz, you know. I was crying a lot. I was really not doing good. The doctors were talking about putting me on antidepressants. Remind you, I was 9-10 years old, which is really crazy to think about. My parents didn't want that, so I never got on antidepressants. But yeah, I was in therapy. School was really not good for me. I didn't go to school much anymore at that point because it just wasn't good. It was killing me, basically. It was killing my mental health. I didn't want to go anymore. And when I say it was boring, I don't mean it was boring in the fact that I didn't want to learn. I wanted to learn, but I just wasn't getting enough to learn. When people talk about, like, people with a higher IQ are a lot more hungry for new things and for learning new things, theoretical things mostly. And when the hunger doesn't get met, the hunger will subside eventually. Same with when you physically are hungry, you don't eat for a really long time, you will get less hungry eventually. But that's not healthy. You see where I'm going at with this? That was happening to me, and when I was around adults, I felt a lot more at peace. I was learning a lot more things. My mom's a teacher. She teaches like the last grade of high school now, and she used to do adult things. I don't fucking know how to say that in English. Anyway, I was going with her to school, and I was like learning stuff over there, and that was so much better for me. I felt way better. I have to say that. Then I switched schools, which sucks. I was really pissed at my parents because I didn't get to decide with them. But in the end, it was the best decision for me. So I switched schools. I went to a specific classroom, like a class group. There were 3 of them in that school, 4 kids with an above average IQ. We worked a little bit differently. There was a lot less teaching through the teachers. Like the teacher sitting in front of the classroom and everyone doing it at the same time. It was a lot more, you do that, you do this, do it at your own pace, you'll get there. So, you know, did that. Eventually I enjoyed going to school again, and then middle school came. So middle school, high school came, and I started with a lot of good vibes, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. By the end, by like week 3 or something, I was dead again. I was completely back to that kid who felt like shit all the time, and no one really wanted to help when it came to the schools. So that happened. I was still going through my therapist. We worked on an entire plan of what classes will I go to school for, what do I do by myself at home. And the school was like, nah, we're not doing that. No, it's not necessary. You're smart enough, you can get through it fine by yourself. So I ended up switching schools again in the middle of the fucking year. Did a couple of classes there, and then the rest of it at home, and then COVID came. I was in my first year of middle school when COVID came, when the first lockdown happened, which is hard, obviously. A bird. There's a bird. There's a bird with something in its mouth. Does it have a worm? A worm? Oh my goodness me. Yeah, so that happened, and then I went to fully being homeschooled. I finished a year early, and now I'm doing absolutely nothing with my life, basically. Great, right? Because I started college, but that wasn't really doing good for my mental health either. And I know a lot of people are like, you just need to get through the first year, through the first months. No, because I was dying. I was physically no longer very healthy. I was puking. I was not eating. I was really not doing well. So yeah, that's basically my story really quickly, shortly. The diagnosis wasn't easy to get either. At least a lot of people were like, she's autistic, she has autism. No, I don't. I'm not autistic. I have nothing against people who are who have autism, who are autistic. That's not what this is about. This is also about the misdiagnosis. A lot of people get misdiagnosed with autism when they're actually just have an above average IQ, because a lot of things are similar, especially in girls and in women. Guys, it's a little bit different because it comes out in a different way. But for me, my parents were really cool. Like, no, she doesn't have autism. This is not autism. It's just that there are a lot of things that are really similar in the way we talk, maybe in the way we, like, specific things come back through a lot of things. As in the neurospicy community with ADHD, whether you have ADHD or you have autism or an above average IQ, you have dyslexia, any of those things, there are certain things that are very similar to each other, and that makes misdiagnosis happen a lot. Sadly enough, I was lucky enough to get the right diagnosis from the get-go. I really liked the IQ tests. They were fun because I needed something to be a little harder than it was at school, and that was that. So I like that. It was really clear. Usually within your IQ, so within a test you get tested on different things like math, problem solving, language, creative thinking, practical things, all those things. You get tested on all those things, and usually what happens is people score differently on different aspects. Like, some people are in fact stronger in math, others in languages, others in problem solving, etc. Mine was pretty much the same all across. How did that happen? I don't know. Also, I'm definitely not doing this to be like, ooh, look at me. No, because as you can tell at the beginning, it's not always easy. It is hard to navigate it. Because, well, not everyone understands it, and that's fine. Like, I think differently than a neurotypical person does, but the thing is, I don't know how a neurotypical person thinks, because I've always thought the way I think. Like, that's not something new to me personally, but it is something newer to society. That's the thing. So yeah, I got diagnosed. And there are lots of things that, like, come back. Like, lots of people with autism and stuff have pretty good, like, some of them have, like, perfectionism that's pretty strongly there, or the fear of failure is really there. I think, for me, the experience is that gifted people with an above average IQ are consistently seen as smarter. They are seen as stronger mentally, maybe. They are obviously seen as different, but the thing is, there are so many, like, stereotypes about it. Like, we're all Einsteins, or there's this kid in Belgium where I live. He's in the media, he gets called the Wonder Child. He went to uni, or he graduated uni at 12 or something. His IQ is basically the same as mine. At least we're really close to each other, but our lives are not the same. He grew up really fucking privileged. Parents with a lot of money. But also, as a girl, as a person who went through things when it comes to having an above average IQ, I cannot imagine that kid actually enjoying it. Sure, he might have enjoyed the learning part of it, but being 12 and being surrounded by 20 to 25-year-olds is hard as fuck. Like, people really underestimate that. That is hard, okay? Like, really, really, really fucking hard. I don't like the fact they call him a wonder child. He's not a fucking wonder. He's not. His brain just works differently. A lot of people think you have an above average IQ, so you will be some type of scientist who will change the world, who will cure dementia. I don't fucking know. Also, just the representation in TV shows and in movies is really stereotypical. And I know that that's for a lot of different things when it comes to the neurospicy community, autism as well and stuff. I think for me, the first time So if you don't know Grey's Anatomy, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you're really missing something in your life. In one of the later seasons, I think season 20, season 20, somewhere there, Zola gets diagnosed with being gifted through really stupid things that happened. But she was struggling, she was having panic attacks a lot, and those were kind of explained by the fact that her brain developed differently. And the fact, I personally think it is the closest I have gotten to representation of what it feels like for me. There's a lot of panic attacks that have happened throughout the years, and when I was pretty young it already started kind of. And the thing is that when you think differently, you maybe think a little deeper sometimes, a little further. You like, a typical thing for people, neurodiverse people in general, is to have like hyperfixations on specific things, and sometimes it's also hyperfixation on death. I know kids who were, when they were kids, they had like, I did that too, by the way. When I'm in my bed, I was like consistently thinking, what am I gonna grab if there's a fire? What if there's a girl? What if someone breaks into the house? What am I gonna do? Constantly, things that were going through my mind, which isn't normal for a 10-year-old. At least, I don't think it's normal. It was my normal though. Which, you know, sucks. Lots of panic attacks also because of my fear of failure. That's still definitely there. Oh my goodness. And I think that's kind of hard. Like, I have learned my tricks throughout the way, like obviously things like sour candy, cold water, literally just resetting your nervous system, which is something I have to do sometimes, and that's okay. That's fine. Does it suck? Yes, it does. Do I still have really fucking bad panic attacks sometimes? Yeah, I do. It sucks, okay? But it's part of it for me now, and I'm really still learning. I'm still in therapy. I'm still learning what are going to be my triggers and my tips and my tricks and all those things. I think that the neurodiverse community in general is kind of misunderstood a lot. Yes, I'm pre-filming a lot, so this video is filmed the day after Autism World Day, which probably when you're seeing this has been months. But yeah, that kind of sucks, because what you see in the news, at least what I saw in the news, was a teenager from my age who was pretty typical for an autistic person, and that kind of sucks. So when you have an above average IQ, here's what happens a lot. You get seen as some type of scientist, like you're gonna be the next Einstein. The thing is, not every not every kid, person, teen, whatever, with an above average IQ is that. You have also the creative side of it. I am more of a creative person. I don't really care much for math and stuff because it's not boring, but it's not something that intrigues me. I don't care about the formulas and all those things. I don't care about it. What I do care about is my photography, writing, reading, all those things. So languages too a little bit, but not really, because I hate French so much. Like, I hate it with a passion, okay? I hate it so much. It's crazy. But yeah. That's kind of a me thing. The struggle is so real, and it gets forgotten so much. Also, a lot of people with an above average IQ are hypersensitive, like me, which means you get overstimulated. And there's a big misunderstanding when it comes to getting overstimulated. Getting overstimulated is not a mental thing. It's not a mental block. It is a physical thing that happens to your fucking body, okay? Like, truly. And I know a lot of people cope with it differently. Some literally cannot get out of bed. They just can't physically do it. Others, like me, I have never drank, but it kind of feels like a hangover. I imagine that's what a hangover would feel. Headaches, aches all over my body. My brain just doesn't work when I'm overstimulated, really. Like, it's just a big blank space, or like not really, because I'm consistently overthinking everything in my life. But it is basically like I start a thought and I never really finish it because it just wanders off somewhere. When I'm overstimulated, that happens a lot. When I'm overstimulated, I cannot do things like film, I cannot be writing or anything, because no. I am someone who can still watch TV shows, and sometimes I can read a book, not always. Depends on how overstimulated I get. When I'm overstimulated, I tend to cry. I tend to panic due to the feelings I get in my body, because it is getting overstimulated is a thing that happens to your nervous system. So it's not just your brain, it's not just mentally, it's like your actual physical nervous system gets overstimulated, which is exhausting. Like, it's really, really exhausting. Like, I went to the air tour. I've already talked about that a lot last year, and I truly had the time of my life. But the next 2-3 days, I was annoyed. I was hungry all the time. I was aching all over. I got really overstimulated there. And when I'm overstimulated, I tend to be a little rude, if I'm completely honest. That happens. But that doesn't mean I don't do things. I just know how to cope with it. I plan for it. Like, when I know I'm gonna have a really, really busy weekend, okay, the next Monday, I'll try not to do too much. Or I'll just sit on the couch and do my work. Because sitting on a chair can be overstimulating in a way. And those are things that also a lot of people with autism and ADHD have, like tags in clothing. Nuh-uh. I hate them. Or just like, even this. Like, this dress is fine for me to wear, but these elastics, they're really loose. Can you see that? They're not supposed to be that loose. Can you tell? Like, I can still put a finger in there. I put it up my arm, I cannot. And oh my god, I hate that feeling so much. I hate that feeling so much. So for example, my Airster outfit, I would have loved to wear a really, really, really cute like bodysuit or something. But I was like, no, because glitter under your arms is the worst thing ever. So what I did is I got a loose dress that I wouldn't really feel, that was like a pretty thick inner fabric with sleeves long enough so that I wouldn't be touching the glitter. I still felt cute though, but like, you know, those are things most people don't really need to think about too much. At least I don't think so. But I really need to think about it. I have my safety outfits, and my safety outfits are outfits that don't get itchy, get annoying, stuff like that. But when I'm really like on the verge of dying, when I'm like done for it, I like, even a shirt tucked into pants can be too much. So those are things. Same with like undies. I've been wearing the same kind of underwear for years, but they fucking changed it. They changed it. Why did they change it? And now I don't like it anymore. So I have to find new ones, and that sucks. Bras with underwire, I'm dead. Sometimes when I'm feeling real good, I can do it. I have one. The rest is without any underwire. Most of the time, not even wearing an actual bra. I like wearing some type of a bralette or like a stretchy sports bra or something, because those are less overstimulating. Do I feel prettier in a pretty bra? Yeah, sure, but like, I can do it sometimes. I'm sorry. So like, those things happen. How long have I... Also, like, I love eating out, but some like spoons, forks, knives, I just cannot. It just ruins the eating for me. I don't know if that's normal. I don't think it is, but it is for me. Have you ever like when I talk to my parents, I'm like, that's my favorite spoon. They're like, what do you mean? It's the same thing. No, it's not. It's not the same. It's not the same thing. But they just don't get it. No one gets it except for me. I get what I'm saying. I also have hyperfixation meals, that's for sure. Whoops. And sometimes I think reading is a hyperfixation, but then again, no, it's not. Sometimes I think this might be a hyperfixation, but then again, no, it's not, because I have been literally making videos for 10 years now. Not posting them for that long, but I've been making them for that long. I think I've been posting on here for, because I think I started during COVID. It's 2025 now. Oh my god. That's insane. Also stimming, fidgeting is a thing. So I was just fidgeting with my hair, which, that's the thing. I'm consistently touching my hair. Can you tell? I'm sorry if it annoys you. I just cannot do anything about it. When I'm stressed, I start to do this a lot, like, and I get a little red up here because of the fact that I'm consistently doing, like, picking at my skin or at my hands, or I'm doing this, or I'm doing this all the time. So I need fidget toys when I'm stressed because I will scratch open my arms. We don't want that. We don't need that in our lives. But fidget toys help me, so I like this like bike chainy thingies. I don't know what the name is, but it's fine. So it's like two rings that are attached to each other through something, and it like inner loop. I don't know how it works, but it's quiet and you can hold it in one hand. That's really all I need. Anything else? Oh, someone closed the door so hard I could literally feel it, and this is like a level above in the house. Anyway, I don't know. I think there's a lot of pressure on us, on everyone really this time in the world. But when you're neurodiverse, there's, at least for me, there was this consistent pressure of I need to do it this way and that way, and I'm smart enough to go to uni, so I should go to uni, but uni's not actually good for my mental or physical health, so maybe I shouldn't do it. So it was a big fight in my brain. And not everyone agrees with me, but what I'm trying now is, for as far as I can, surrounding myself with people who support my decisions and who will not be annoying and giving me unsolicited advice all the time or really bringing me down in general. This is turning into a therapy session. That was not supposed to happen. I'm sorry. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to be where I'm celebrated, not where I'm tolerated. Yeah. That's that. I really feel like that song, This Is Me Trying, where it's like, I was so ahead of the curve became a sphere, fell behind all my classmates and I ended up here. Yeah, that's my life. I don't know what to say. I think I'm just going to end the video here. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I am very open when it comes to talking about my neurospicy shit. So, yeah. If you liked it, make sure to do a thumbs up. If you didn't, why are you here? Annoying. Anyways, hopefully I'll see you next time. Love you, bye. Love you, bye.